Someone once said to me, "Hey, I'm waiting for a real trucker to show up on this channel." Well, I'm not a real trucker, but I'll tell you who is. Get out and look! Have a merry, merry Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know what you've been told, but have a cup of cheer. Oh, I don't know. I might have a white Christmas here, considering everything. I want my mommy. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I wanted to see snow. I guess I saw it. And you know what? I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I've got plenty of time to get out and look. Get out and look. I'll tell you what. I got out. I looked. And I see some places here that I can go eat at. Isn't this pretty throughout here? Oh my word. It's gorgeous at night. There's some stuff going on down there too. I don't know what, but... Look at this. Snow. If there's still snow on that one mound, I'm going to build some freaking snowmen. I'm going to make a freaking army. I'm going to call it the Killer Army. I'll put on there, Killer Gamer was here. Look at the trees. You see those? Look at that. Yeah, so this way, off to the left is where I got off of the I-70 and where I stopped. You know what? I think I might have to wear my my flatbed boots that I got from Flatbed. This goes down here. I'm not sure what it goes down to. So it looks like there's a little river down there. Oh yeah, there's a little walkway and stuff. That's cool. Well, maybe we'll check it out tomorrow. You know, when there's light. Oh, there's water. Look at this. Oh man, this place is gorgeous. I think I found the place I want to retire. Wow. This is so neat. Hope. That's kind of how I felt today. Here it is. The Silverthorne Town Center. You can see there's a river right there. Park Space release. Something tells me I should probably kind of like walk over here and use the guardrail, maybe? No, that's not really a guardrail, is it? I'm like curious what's down here. I just got a few more shops down here. Yeah, nice little walkway that way. Let's step over the snow. Ooh. Ugh. Uh-oh, I got my feet wet. Part of my sock got wet. Be careful. That's ice. That is definitely ice. And that's thick. That's some thick snow. My goodness, that is really thick. Jeez. Oh, crap. I'm having a blast. You fall on the ground and make a snow angel. This is like the perfect little Christmas town. Like the type of town that you see with Santa Claus going from roof to roof. As a filmmaker, I would totally want to make a film here. That's just how beautiful this place is. It is just striking. Ooh. Ooh, that looks so cool. It looks better in person. The the purplish tint is just gorgeous when you if you were to see it with your eye. Whoops, didn't mean to zoom in that fast. Look at that. Just like those over there, they look so much better you know, with the naked eye than it does. So does that over there too. Oh man, this place is like a paradise. Look at this. We even have a little Christmas fire over here. Wow. I'm just totally loving this. Well, I can't really feel the heat very much, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be in here. This is part of the restaurant. I probably should leave. They don't want a Swift driver over here. Look at this. This is pretty cool. My luck, I'll slip and the phone will go right into the river. Or that's a stream, isn't it? It's really not that cold, honestly. I mean, I think it's around 27 degrees. But it's not bad. There's not a wind or anything. You know, just, I don't have any gloves, just, you know, just a jacket and put my hands in my pockets and I'm okay. Just be careful I don't slip on this. It's got traction on it, so I think I'm okay. This is cold. You gotta be careful with the ice and stuff. So I tend to kind of like walk over here where the snow is at, because there's like, you know, texture. River's Edge condos. Oh, did you guys see what time it was? 8 o'clock. Really? Last time I looked, it was like 6. I don't know where I am, man. I'll tell you where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be on the ground here if I'm not careful. Some of this stuff is ice down here. This looks like a bike path. Yeah. Considering everything that's happened, well, you know, I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be safe, and I almost feel like this is a reward or something. I mean, this is just, it's beautiful. I got to tell you that. Really, really neat. Well, let's call it a night. Whoa! Snow!
I triple dog dare you to touch the snow.
Good morning, folks. Well, I have got my truck moved. I got it out of the area that was over there. I was able to safely back into the area, and I was able to pull in between the light post and the tree. There's no cars over here. I took advantage of that, and I'll be able to go out straight just like this. But right now, with the way the snow is and the ice, I'm going to need to wait until this starts to melt before I start trying to take my truck through this. The weather is supposed to warm up later today. So I've made my decision. I am not going east back to Denver. Some of you folks, you may know of a situation of a driver who was going east on the I-70, was going downhill and lost his brakes, lost control, ran into a bunch of other vehicles. 4 people were killed, and he's in jail for probably the rest of his life. That happened on the other side of the mountain that we just came down. I also found some articles of people's brakes that failed, just like mine did. And like one had an accident right up here in Silverthorne because he couldn't stop before he got into the intersection. And luckily I was able to. So, although I'm not experienced driving the 70, I put my, flight simulator and aviation hobby to use, and I started looking at the surrounding terrain, topography and stuff to see what it was that I might be looking at. And from here going west, I don't think it's as bad as where I just came from. I think the worst part of it is over, but still, I'm going to take it easy, take it slow. And I did get some input from my mentor in regards to downshifting and maybe using the Jake brake lightly. Not all the way, just a little bit. So, but we're going to wait for things to warm up before we even try to get out of here. I know that you guys were not going to let me let it go. Let it go, let it go. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. If I did not try to make one snowman while I was here. So, there you go. Do I know how to make snowmen? Nope, I suck. Ha. Ha. Out here in the morning, just enjoying this little town here while I'm here. So I think the best decision, and this was with talking with my wife and also my buddy from the academy, the best thing to do is for me to take off today, because yeah, some of the stuff is going to melt, but it's just going to freeze tomorrow anyway, or freeze overnight, and then I would just have to wait again. So it's best for me to make use of the time that I can before another snowstorm comes in, and there is one coming. Will I get to Grand Junction today or tomorrow? I don't know. Well, tomorrow probably, but today hopefully. But yeah. Oh, hey. There's some of the that's the salt. So they got some of the salt on here. We know that. We delivered that. Where did we take that? It was Cheyenne. We did that delivery over to Cheyenne. Yeah, so we're down here by the stream that I showed from last night. And then that little area that goes, spirals downwards, goes into this little underground tunnel. There's a road up above it. It's interesting how the snow has managed to blow its way in here. Yep, and right up here is where all the little restaurants and stuff are at. Chipotle and all that good stuff. So a little bit of a scary thing. I had, kept in contact with my mentor, told him of what I was going through, and he said he started, heard from him this morning, and he said he was starting to get a little paranoid about what happened to me. And he was not far from here. He actually is on the I-70 heading to Utah. Well, apparently he was using his Jake brake a little, and it was starting to skid. Not much, but a little bit, and it caused him to go a little bit into a panic. So that was a little bit of a scary thing. But he pretty much, based off of yesterday and what he told me, switched to manual and then downshift to get it to a good speed. So it took me just trying to learn how to navigate down hills and stuff to finally find out why you don't use the Jake brake when it's snowing or raining or there's ice. The reason for that is because the Jake brake slows down the tractor only. If you're going, especially if you're going fast, if you're going 60 miles per hour and you use the engine brake, your tractor is slowing down to, well, who knows, 50, 40. But guess what? That trailer of yours, if it's a wet road and there's not much traction, that sucker's still going at 60. And that's what causes the jackknife. So in case you folks were wondering, why do they say that? Why do they say not use the Jake brake during those situations? Because it could cause a jackknife, that's why. So I hope my research there helps you folks understand a little bit better on, when to use it and when not to use it and why. Sometimes it helps knowing the whys and the how, so you understand the what, I guess. Well, I am so glad I moved the truck when I did, because I would not, well, I might be able to get around. Yeah, probably around there, but still. You can see I've got myself angled, ready to get out. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do a pre-trip. Okay, I'm getting ready to head out, so I'm nervous. I'm going to remember the things that I was told. I can downshift. And if I'm not going fast, I should be able to use the Jake brakes a little. If I'm going downhill like 30 miles per hour, I can use the Jake brakes a little, like turn it on, turn it off, not turn it on and keep it on, and definitely not going 60 miles per hour. That would be crazy. But yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's get to Grand Junction, get a parking spot, and maybe we can get out of here before more snow comes. Really, weird stuff just happened that's too much of a coincidence. I am a spiritual person, although I've had, some trouble with my faith in the past. But what just happened today renewed my faith. Just as I was about to leave, the on-road department called me. They were following up with me, and I told them the situation, and I said, I still don't really feel comfortable pulling this trailer with the condition of the brakes. I can still smell them. And then there's a thing, because I was talking with my mentor, and he told me, he was using his Jake brakes just a little bit I think it was last night, and his trailer started to skid. But the thing is, he's got experience. He's got 5 years of experience. I don't. So he knows how to handle situations like that. But I mentioned it to them. I mentioned the brakes. I mentioned my inexperience. And they said, well, the guy said the brakes are okay. He wouldn't advise me to go out if they weren't. But then again, there's the whole situation with the weather. Snow has been melting, which is going to make things slippery. If you're wondering, I'm getting my keys. Motorhome parked there next to me. So I mentioned that to them, and I said, I still feel uncomfortable taking this load. There was just something about it that bothered me. And also, I didn't have much confidence in regards to the brakes, or confidence in my own abilities. And she says, we don't want to send you out there if you're not feeling comfortable with the load. Because I explained that. I said, maybe the brakes on the tractor are fine, but I've got this very heavy load that is that's pushing me. And where I would normally use the Jake brakes, I wouldn't do it in this situation. And also, when it caused a skid for my mentor, that's telling me something right there. And so she told me about something that's called a bobtail repower. Okay, so remember that term, write it down. A bobtail repower. And essentially what it means is that they will find someone who doesn't have a load that can come and pick up the trailer. And then from there, I can bobtail to the nearest terminal. And wouldn't you know, they were able to find someone that can be here in a couple of hours. And then I can bobtail to Denver to have them look at the brakes. And my wife had even suggested that I should have them take a look at the engine and the power and how this struggles going up a mountain carrying a very heavy load. Now, yes, there are other trucks that do struggle too, but how do I know that there really isn't a problem? One of the fears that I had was the engine overheating and quitting, and then that trailer pulling me down the mountain. And if I, throw my emergency brakes on, I mean, it could easily jackknife the trailer on the way down, causing a really bad mess. Of course, who's going to be held responsible for it? Me. But yeah, that is just, it's too much to be a coincidence. And something else, I prayed last night, and I hadn't prayed in a long time. And the fact that all of this stuff happened, and just as I was about to leave, I get that phone call. And I was tempted. I was tempted to just keep going, to just go ahead and go. No, I think I'll be okay. But I've learned in the past, whenever I get promptings like this, I need to listen. Because if I don't, and it's happened, something bad happens. Now, does it mean that the brakes would have failed? Not necessarily. I could have been snowed in, because like I said, I looked at the weather and there's going to be snow in a few days. And I was going to take it easy, on the way to Grand Junction. It could have meant that the engine would have burned out. Or maybe the brakes really were going to cut out. Even though someone says, no, they should be fine, he may not be considering the weight of the load that I'm pulling, the age of this truck, the fact that it's an International. It's just not a great truck. The engine, I mean, it sounds okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that something's not going to go wrong. And I can tell you that I feel confident being able to drive this truck to Denver. Up, whether it's, up that mountain, going down, I feel okay. I feel okay with that. That I feel confident with. Pulling this trailer, no, I don't. Something bothers me about it. And wouldn't you know, I went over to Witch to get, it's kind of like a little celebration thing, like I'm so glad I listened. And my wife was actually praying too, because I was talking with her at the time, and when I had her on hold so I could take the other call from on road, she was praying during that time. But I talked with a fellow there at Witch, and he said, what brings you here? And so I told him, and he says, oh my goodness. He says, we have that happening here all the time. All the time. And he said, it used to be where it might have been once a year. But since these carriers have been just hiring tons and tons of people that are, inexperienced, he says it's happening a lot, at least once a month. And it's because of people who don't have any experience driving in the Rockies. And I pointed to myself and I said, I'm a new driver and I don't have experience driving through here. And he nodded his head, and, I just told him, I said, I was lucky. Because the same thing happened to me, except I was able to get the truck stopped. Folks, I mean, you may be religious or not, or you might believe that there's a higher power, maybe it's the universe at work and how everything comes together, whatever your faith is, or even if you don't, you got to admit, all of these events, it's too much to be a coincidence, too much. But yeah, I'm just stunned. I'm speechless. I really am. The team drivers, and they're experienced drivers too. They probably have a much better truck than I do. But they're experienced drivers, and they're coming to pick up the trailer and take it to Flagstaff. Put all the pieces together. Come up with your own conclusions. Feel free to leave comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts about what has happened. But what I'd like to do is just go ahead and close this episode, on this note of what happened. And I'll make the bobtailing and the repairs and and the maintenance on the truck. I'll make it a separate episode. I think it deserves to be a separate episode. I'm curious to see what happens. Maybe nothing, or maybe something. I mean, I definitely learned about bobtail repower. That's something new, and that's something that I can share with you folks too. And also something I can share with you for those of you that are new drivers, whether you're Swift, CR England, like this fellow over here, which actually he's a 2 million miles safe, or 2 million safe miles. That's cool. That is really cool. That is cool to see. But yeah, Prime, whatever the case is, whatever carrier you're with, if you're a new driver and you're inexperienced and you're given a load that's going to take you through the Rockies on the I-70, don't take it. Especially with the weather the way it is. Get your experience level up. Learn your truck and how it works. Learn when to switch from automatic to manual. If you're manual, you're already manual. But learn to be able to do that. Learn to know when the right times to use the Jake brake are and when they're not the right times. And how much you should use your service brake, as opposed to, how much is too much. And I'm thankful that I've been able to survive this experience to be able to share that with you folks. And I hope by me doing so that I've been able to save some lives out there. That's the reason why I love doing video. I've always wanted to do video and to touch people's lives around the world. And the things that I've done on this channel have done that in different ways. But this series especially is reaching out to a lot of people. And I'm grateful that I could, touch your lives and hopefully make things better for you, so that way you're more prepared when going through this. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. And folks, you know, I love hearing from you. I love hearing your comments. So be sure to leave them down below. I always read them. I read them as quickly as I can. And I respond to them as well. Sometimes there's some comments that don't need a response, and you know, that's okay. But for the most part, I do respond to comments, because if you take the time to leave a comment on my video and you take the time to watch my video, then I feel that it's just common courtesy for me to respond. So just know that when you comment on my videos, I do read them and I will comment back. Also, if you haven't subscribed, a great way to support this channel is to subscribe. Tell your buddies. Tell your buddies about the channel. You know, we're growing. We're growing. The KILR community is growing. And once I can hit 1,000 subscribers, I can start being a YouTube partner. And I'll be able to turn this into something more and more. And even though this channel has been around for, 8-9 years, it's still in its infancy. Not as infant as it was at the very beginning. I mean, it's definitely grown, but you're still here at the early stages of the channel. So this is a great time to be a part of the KILR community, and I hope you'll bring others here too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Have a killer awesome day.